Okay, well, reasonable, reasonable. But at least you woke up in time for the match because it's going to be one hell of a
Yeah.
game here. Because GODSENT have, well, technically both teams have a lot really on the line here. GODSENT is looking to still place second potentially out of the group, which would move them through into the upper bracket. And Movistar Riders have a chance to play 6, which would put them into the 11th place match versus Fnatic. Not an easy match whatsoever, but obviously points are going to be on the line here for both these two teams. And it looks like we will be kicking things off right away.
Yeah, straight into the pistol round. It is going to be a heavy banana presence, at least initially from the Spanish side. Movistar with a decent win rate on Inferno. One of their best maps, a map that we've seen GODSENT play a fair few times, have some close series, but their win rate on it has not been particularly good. And Mopos, well, he's basically the bait here. Everybody else is just waiting around that corner as the surprise factor, but it seems like GODSENT might be aware of this. So they're actually going to boost over the top. Makalele with one, Crystal on the other, and the B site is open.
And don't worry, guys. I know X-Ray is currently off. That will be sorted after this first round. I love it when the server changes maps and have to re-enter a lot of commands. But the bomb will go down for GODSENT. Now on the 2-on-4. We got to actually cast Movistar just a few days ago, to be honest. And it was an exciting thing to see because they have shown us some really good things. They started off really well within the group. 2 over Mouse Sports, 2-1 over Contact. And they unfortunately did go a little bit downhill from there. But this 2-on-4 retake looks like it's going to be a little bit slow here, a little bit difficult to pull off as Easter's going to wrap around. Just get the tag on a Chris, so at least spots out the first player, but I think they're just going to run away from this one, and GODSENT, with no real challenge, at least on the side alone, are going to be able to take this.
Yeah, a few extra kills will gain them a little bit into the next round. Of course, we're likely to see a force buy coming out from Movistar, as saving into the next would mean that they'd come in with a weaker buy in round 3, and it's not something you see too commonly from teams, even though the buy wouldn't be awful. But yeah, already Lau will invest into a Deagle. I imagine we'll see the same. Maybe Easter will save a little bit of extra cash if he does want to pull his AWP in as early as possible. But yeah, I think this matchup's actually going to be one that I'm looking forward to. It's definitely not the... I think if you're looking for like the star players that you talk about day in, day out, like your Nikos, your Simples, maybe you don't have the players like that in the server at the moment. But you have a lot of sort of redemption stories. Like you look at the guys from GODSENT who have been in a lot of like big previous teams. Makalele, of course, with the Ninjas. You had Stiko and Mouse Sports as well. Even Penta, Days coming back for Zen, and they built this squad, and I'll be honest, I think they've achieved more than a lot of people would have expected, especially making through the playoffs road to Rio. They are going to be walking into the stack, though, and there's another story on the other side. A Spanish roster trying to make a name for themselves and joined by a lone Brazilian. Definitely makes for an interesting matchup. This push into the site, though, is going to be a risky one. Still plenty of players here, although quickly cleaned up, leaving just Mopos to try and do as much damage as he can with the SMG. Already a couple of kills, so money being farmed up. But ultimately, the chance to win the round seeming slim.
Yeah, I'm not really too confident on Steel and Lowell here. With just the pistols alone to take on the 3 players, 2 of them with the AKs and the MAC-10. And again, looks like they'll just run away. Looks like they'll just save up here. Not really a bad call in the end, because we have saw, well, just yesterday alone, how insane the Deagle can be in the right hands. But yeah, I kind of agree with you. Like GODSENT, when I first, heard them coming around, I was really kind of like, well, this is kind of like a mixed bag of a team. And I didn't really expect too much out of them, but I have to give them credit. They've surprised a hell of a lot of people out there, and they definitely are deserving where they currently do lay within the groups. And they had a 2-1 victory over Copenhagen Flames, 2-1 over North, 2-1 over Contact, 2-0 over Mouse. Actually, funny enough, both these teams did get a 2-0 over Mouse Sports.
I think a lot of people have started to look at sort of what's happened to Mouse Sports, because I'll be honest, like this was not the squad we were expecting coming into this tournament. Not been particularly impressive throughout. Right down in 6th place after losing 4 of their matches. But we've come to expect more from them. So yeah, a bit of a surprise. It seems like maybe the situation has taken its toll. Mopos has just been absolutely owned by utility. Of course, this is just an eco round. Movistar, they're patiently waiting for the next round buy where they'll get 2,900 and have plenty of cash to invest in. We'll see the AWP and potentially even a bonus round for GODSENT. But they are a team where I feel like they're very methodical in a lot of the plays they make. You've got Madden in this sort of loose cannon, maybe a little bit crazy in the style of plays he makes it. Like if you watch him on Nuke, for example, he's someone who will try and rush vent almost every single round, which it's insane, but he does have the individual skill to back it up. Originally picked up from this squad because he beat them. It's a pretty good first impression if you beat a team and they go, okay, we're just going to buy you so that this can't happen again. And well, it seems like the rest is history for them, as they've definitely been getting better and better throughout. And the last time these teams played at the end of last year, it was a victory for the Movistar Riders. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not GODSENT have developed to the point where they now can take them down. I would consider them to be a better team, at least at the moment, but I do think the Spanish roster has started to prove themselves as well with, again, some exciting matchups. As you mentioned, the victory versus Mouse Sports. And even if they aren't in the best of form, we know how talented the players on that roster can be. So
yeah,
it's a good match.
It's been a little bit of a shame to see them kind of start things off so well in the beginning, you know, with how the whole group broke out. And everyone was like, oh my God, Movistar, you know, 2-0 against Mouse Sports, and they went on to beat Contact, and they almost take the match against FaZe, and you know there was a lot of hope for them, I think, in the future of where they would continue to bring this roster. And I know, you know, you and I were recently casting something. I said they're kind of, to me, on like a little bit of a downward spiral with like losing match after match after match, even though they were tough matches. But we've seen them even bounce back in the tournament we were just casting a few days ago. So it's nice to see them have that kind of bounce back potential. We obviously got to talk to Steele and hear what he had to say about the team and some of the decisions he's made as the in-game leader. He seems to have a pretty decent read on how enemy teams do play, though it will sometimes take a couple of extra rounds to really get there. But he's really good, I'd say, at punishing you if you do play this consistent style against you. You don't really change anything up when they're on the T side attacking you. But we're going to go into the first buy-up round. Eastar with the AWP, the rest of them with the M4s. And I want to see how GODSENT can play around on this little bit of a bonus round they do have with the two MAC-10s. Do they want to get very fast-paced onto an A-split attack, sending the MAC-10s maybe in towards apartments, or do maybe you want to push up in towards B? I'm assuming with Movistar having 3 players towards Banana already, they're going to go for the control. And they're actually trying to bait them in, it seems, because they have a player sitting back low with the flashbang in hand, ready to throw if GODSENT do get close at all.
Well, Madden, of course, the man looking to try and get aggressive. Actually lurking over the top of the smoke. Alex has to be careful, but he might have himself a freebie kill here. It's only a MAC-10 drop, so in these sort of rounds, you can take these sort of risks. But for now, the T's with a player lost, but they do have other advantages. The utility definitely one of them. Players without head armor will still help out Crystal, and also just the amount of map control they've actually been able to gain fairly early on in this round. Like Makalele has already snuck his way all the way up to the hay bales. And Zen is also waiting for a peak to come out, but the timing seems to get away from a couple of players now for GODSENT, leaving Makalele alongside Crystal to try and turn this back. He will net a first, but Lau was more than ready for the trade, and Crystal trying to do some work with the MAC-10 will at least get a kill, and a bomb plant here wouldn't be bad whatsoever. Some extra cash, maybe even an extra kill, as now 2 players are low, but Alex stabs him in the back in the last few seconds, and Movistar Riders have themselves a round.
Still a close round, considering they only had 2 MAC-10, or they had 2 MAC-10s and the 3 AKs. A little bit sad to not see Makalele be able to accomplish more in that position with him sneaking through. But obviously it did come down to, I think it was Zen, or towards the long side of A. And I think Easter just peeks around at the perfect moment to take him down with the ops and lose that potential flank coming through to cover off Makalele on pit. But all in all, pretty good retake here at Movistar Riders, though it did come a little bit close. Do save at least one of the AKs. And they do get the first gun round, which I think is going to be very important for them now, too, because they're up against GODSENT with the full buy-up. Makalele back on the AWP. I don't know how you would characterize Makalele on the op. I feel like he was very... He wasn't consistent, and he was very flashy at the same time, back in his, like, NIP days, you know, hell of a long time ago. I don't know how he's changed, you know, in recent times.
Oh! Those double nades were filthy. Madden, once again, he's normally going to be the first point of contact. That is his role within this squad. That smoke hasn't quite landed where it was supposed to, but it looks like Mopos, well, maybe it did. Either that or he's just adapted on the fly. I think that's slightly more likely. If this is something they've planned, it's genius because you can see all the remaining players actually just walking right past it. But oh no, yeah, I definitely don't think this is planned. He just thrown a smoke in. How have they not realized? How has he got behind them? A smoke just appeared out of nowhere, and it seems like GODSENT didn't even realize this man has come from behind. He's now right on their tail, and with a player watching in mid, they're never going to expect this. They're never going to know that he has managed to get this far. Both players desperately low, 22 HP between them, and while 21 of it's on Makalele. He has got into the corner, but already one man cleared out. Madden has to pull off a miracle here. And he's not going to be able to. It's left all on Tostico, a little bit far behind with two players now watching this angle. Doesn't stand a chance. And Jason, can you explain how that happened? Because I'm very confused.
Well, you know, I think a flashbang actually did come through. Because when we saw Mopaz throw the smoke down, a flash went off like a few seconds later, which why you saw him like turn around when he realized they were behind him. And while flash, he pushes inside of the smoke. A player pushes through from the enemy team at the exact same time, so he trades positions with them, and then he's able to flank behind them. I mean, I agree with you. You see the smoke come down, you should just kind of know. You didn't see anything come over the top. It had to have been a player next to you. I don't know if that smoke was intentional originally that Mopaz was standing in, but you can't complain with the results from it. Whether that was a mistake out of GODSENT or just the 400 IQ play out of Mopaz is still up in the air, but well done. Movistar Riders take their second round, and now GODSENT coming back into the next round again with the AKs are going to be hurting on money if they can't take this one.
Well, Stico is making sure that they probably will. 2 entries already in this round, and leaves Madden again just trying to rub salt in the wounds. The CT side have already given up on this round, but with 4 players still standing, sure, as you mentioned, the money isn't amazing, but they might be able to at least risk 1 player, and if it was going to be the 1 player, I'd expect Madden to take that risk, but it seems like maybe the call has been made elsewhere. It will be a 4th round already on the board for GODSENT. As mentioned, this has been a map that has not been particularly successful for them. We look at the statistics. They haven't actually won a map of Inferno in 6 meetings over the last few months. They've lost to Contact, Dignitas, Copenhagen Flames, Spirit, Force, and Devez. And I'll be honest, some of the names on that list are teams that they should be beating. And then we get a victory, which was versus Spirit. So clearly one that they will have been working on. It's a map that comes up quite regularly because it's a map that a lot of teams don't want to be banning because they can play it. But at the same time, I think there's a difference between playing Inferno and playing it well. So hopefully GODSENT have had the time to actually work that over. It is their joint 2nd most played map, but I imagine that's other teams picking it against them most of the time.
I mean, hell, I can play Inferno, but I won't win any matches, I'll tell you that. Madden's going to push up immediately off the bat, catches Mopaz getting aggressive. Early man advantage for GODSENT again. These individual players, like the openers, the first kills, the first duels being taken. Sicko, now Madden. Success rate is relatively high, and Easter's even looking to potentially come around the smoke here. Very dangerous, because if he falls, he might lose his teammate thereafter, but he's going to sneak himself in towards sight. Or maybe wait for the smoke to dissipate, and he's not going to escape. No, how does he get away from this one? Madden can't connect the shots, and Alex is going to be there to save his teammate's life, and just like that, Movistar Riders do get the man advantage, although Easter's down to 11 HP.
Yeah, they're just going to switch it back up. Easter close on the angle. Sorry, Lau. And it will be just a quick trade. Zen able to get the opener and steal alone on the site. A FAMAS in hand. Zen with a real opportunity. They're just going to plant. Well, this is a free kill. At least the first one. And somehow Zen's going to get the trade. That nade was not quite going to reach. 8 HP and Alex has him dead to rights anyway. Not even getting the bomb plant, so no extra money for GODSENT in this round. But there were so many moments there, it felt like GODSENT could still steal that one. Now, both teams will be coming back up with a purchase. GODSENT able to keep that round before squeaky clean. It gives them a small buffer. But again, we see both teams financially on the brink. And if GODSENT do win this round, this could be looking like a dominating half.
And just to reiterate, for a lot of people I'm seeing in Twitch chat ask about like qualifying and whatnot, Movistar Riders, if they win this, there's a chance they could go to 6th place, which would put them into the 11th place match overall. They cannot make it through into playoffs, but they can look to get some more points as Easter gets the tag on a Michael through the wall. He's going to respond and get the kill in a Mopaz. So they would play up against Fnatic, and that would be for 11th place, obviously some extra points on the side. And GODSENT, if they can win this, there's a chance they'll come out 2nd in the group, which means they go straight into the upper bracket of the playoffs. So GODSENT, I think there's a lot more on the line for them, a lot more points potential. Eastar, he just gets toyed with. I think that was Madden just peeking around the corner there. But still, man advantage in favor of GODSENT, looking for an avenue into the B side. They've sat around here for, honestly, such a long time. And they bait out a lot of the utility that Movistar had to defend with. You got, what, Alex here with the Incendiary to buy a little bit more time, and Easter with just the flashbang. And there's still a minute left to go, so the utility is just not really going to be there if GODSENT do decide to commit towards the B site.
Only 2 players left to defend. It's going to be Lau with the first point of contact. A lot of damage now done, and they have to be careful of Steel. He switched his position, a completely different spot, but a bit of a whiff spray for the Brazilian. He's going to leave this bomb site completely under the T side control. But again, it will be the CT side able to save. So a bit of a weird scenario we've had so far where no team really being broken economically just because of the amount of weaponry that's been able to be saved by the CT side. However, the money is still going to be awkward for them. Easter might be able to drop a FAMAS or an SMG. Steel maybe just buy himself an MP9, and that's if they fancy risking it. If not, there is still the option to just play with the 3 extra weapons and save a bit of money for a rainy day. But that save, well, it would take 3 rounds for them to get a buy back up. So I imagine we're just going to see them invest.
It's interesting to me because if people were watching the Prosto versus Simon gaming match that just happened, I know Sponge was talking a lot about the percentage plays and saving weapons, and I think there's a lot of instances in that match where teams just didn't save the weapons when they needed to, and here we've already seen Movistar do it multiple times. Even in the pistol round they were trying to save with 2 players, and that really shows that they're just playing for the long game here and playing, I think, the smart game, to be honest. And again, saving the AK, the M4 and the AWP, like that could technically be enough to win you a round, even taking the time out to maybe talk some things over and decide where they do want to put some things. Obviously, they're back against the wall here, considering the money they do have. GODSENT, you know, potentially could get to 7, maybe 8 rounds if they can take this one. And that would be a terrible start for Movistar Riders.
Well, we'll see if they can make this force buy work. If not, well, they are going to be in a bit of trouble. Steel actually deciding on a pistol to make sure he can get some extra utility. But again, we're going to see this early pressure on Banana Makalele. Oh, this is awkward. Stuck in the flames. Do they have the nades? It's a common position to nade, but it looks like... Oh, okay, there it goes. But I think it might be just a little bit too late. Still, some decent early damage done. Boost up onto short A as well. Probably the most expected position. I like the pre-fire, though, from Sticko. He's going to force that angle off. Sticko's definitely someone you can tell has just practiced every little thing. I won't forget Crystal being able to silent jump down on Nuke as well. That was one of the most impressive plays I think I've seen in a long time. Practicing his KZ, that's for sure. I literally, they tweeted about it afterwards. He managed to silent jump onto the little yellow thing just by maneuvering in the right way. And he won a 1v1 clutch. And then they played the whole like audio back. It was incredible. But yeah, these guys just spend their time just finding small little details to try and elevate their game. I think that's why GODSENT have been growing so much month and month that goes by. Eastor tries his best, but you could just see the synergy even of these players now. They're so quick to make sure trades come in. The utility that they use seems to be spot on most of the time. I think they're actually one of my favorite teams to watch on the T side of Dust 2, because just the way they're able to force players into awkward positions is just fantastic. And I think this round even just shows it. That small pre-fire pushed one of the players down into a different spot. It completely changed the setup the Movistar were running. And then they just walk into mid and trade 3 players out for 1. Like, it was absolutely nothing. They made it look very easy.
Well, my question, Tom, is did Sticko hear the drop? Like, did he know he actually tagged the
Probably.
guy through the wall?
He might have done. Even still, it's just the knowledge now that there's nobody there. Like, that would be the thing. Like, it's a position that you don't necessarily have to check. That they probably still do, but it's more just the fact that it makes the CT side setup more awkward, because that was part of the plan, to have this crossfire in a certain way. But just by pre-firing a few bullets through, he's managed to change the complete setup. And I don't know how much that will have impacted those trade frags, but I do have to feel like if Lau was actually boosted up in that position, that take into mid would have been quite a bit tougher.
Yeah, I mean, at least 1 kill would have been traded, ideally, out of Movistar. Wouldn't really, I think, change the outcome, but still a lot of extra money being saved for GODSENT now. Makalele still maintaining the AWP. The 2 rifles safe from the last round from Movistar. We got the FAMAS and the AK. They're going to put, well, Alex by himself at the B site, go for the 4-man stack over towards A. But GODSENT, again, I think they're going to notice, well, where's the utility at B? Where's the early aggression that we've seen Movistar doing time in and time out? And Sticko, what a lovely position for him to be in. If they don't check, this is an easy double kill, and the rifle will be dropped. Oh my god, no pause. Insane shot out of him, but here's the push on a B. Now Alex has to defend this, and he gets the first, but he's got 3 more to find.
He's doing a lot of damage, but he takes far more back in return. Leaves just 2 remaining. The nade is just on point, though. And Madden playing an aggressive angle once again, but Mopos seems to catch everybody who tries to wait for him around a corner. It's going to be left onto Makalele. 1 versus 2. Still in with a good chance in this clutch. There's no utility, no armor. Of course, that doesn't really make a difference. He's AWPing, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. There's also no kit, but they do have a smoke, and that could easily make things quite awkward for him if they choose the right angle, which they have. He's going to have to just try and work out the lineup. What is that from Makalele? Straight through the smoke. He's going to kill off Mopos, even switching up to the FAMAS, but I think at this point he realizes he doesn't even need to. The Swede has won this battle no matter the case. Sure, it's a very costly round coming out, but both players will die, and I don't know how he knew where to pre-fire that shot, but he did.
I mean, the whole point of it was, like, the second he scopes, he's going to be heard, because it took so long for him to actually, scope in. So he quick scopes? I mean, yeah. How could you expect someone to push through the smoke at the exact time? And it was such a key player, too. Mopaz already opened up the round and gave them a chance. What a shot out of him. And they do save the round. 7-3 now for GODSENT on the T side of Inferno. Movistar going to be back on the buy up here, but that shot, not only was it a kill into Mopaz, but I think it was a shot into the confidence of Movistar as they almost pulled that round back. Dear Lord. I mean, honestly, credit to Mopaz, though. He's playing phenomenal.
Yeah, I think he was the only reason that round really had much contention in it at all. At least Alex did manage to slow them down a bit on B, but this has gone quickly from a fairly close, cagey match to one where GODSENT are now sat with 7 rounds on the T side. As mentioned, the last time they played, it was a victory for Movistar, but I do think GODSENT have come a long way over the last few months. Definitely showing that in the road to Rio so far. I think they're a team that I don't know many people who don't want them to succeed as well. I just enjoy watching them. It's nice to see a comeback from so many different players, and this squad maybe shouldn't work, but it definitely does. I think the guys behind them as well. You have to talk about Devilwalk, and I'm sure he's had a massive impact on this team. But here we go. Once again, this sneak up forward in towards the site. Very passive positions being held. Molotov won't force anybody out, but it might make it a little bit awkward for Lau. Still, though, this crossfire has been successful. They're yet to clear Steel. And him still surviving is a real issue. It's left onto Madden. 1 versus 3. Shouldn't really be a way that he manages to win this, but after the first kill goes his way, thankfully Steel will close out the round. The Brazilian with a triple and actually not taking a point of damage.
Yeah, well done. Good defense. I was actually expecting the sneak up on short to do a little bit more than it actually did. It seemed like Crystal wasn't keen to looking towards the pit side, or maybe he was expecting someone else to be covering that angle. I do have to ask you, Tom, because I'm not 100% sure. Is Pronax still a part of the organization in any way?
And maybe in the ownership side, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
I think he was one of the people who brought it back. So
Right.
I would assume so. I'm sure for anybody wondering, Google is your friend.
Yeah, I can't Google right now. I mean, Pronax is one of the players who played inverted with his mouse as well. So down was up and up was down. Yeah. Well, big little push in towards apartments. Big little push. Big push into apartments. Gets them an early kill on a Sticko. Michaelelli is going to be here as well, and he has to be careful to not be overrun, but it looks like the CTs will back away with the spoils.
It says in his profile, I'm GODSENT, so, you know.
So he is
he
the
is
organization.
GODSENT.
Okay. So that's his eye in the triangle. Got it.
Yeah. He is, it's Pronax confirmed. Here we go. You can see how much damage that has just been done over the last few rounds just by the fact that this is a relatively weak buy coming up for GODSENT, even though they won 3 in a row. Madden, however, has been sneaky, but he's also been spotted by Steel. That timing, well, it could have given him the round. Instead, it might have actually lost the round. Zen still trying to fight this back, but already being tagged to just 31 HP. The Molotov making things awkward, and he takes a tick. He still gets the kill. Makalele, though, clearly not a fan of the FAMAS, as he tries to stick to just the dirty Deeg, and Steel should have a couple of relatively easy kills here, as they do bring it back to 5.
I think it's a great adaptation by Steel and his team to realize that they do, for God's sake, go towards B quite often and go for a big stack onto it. This is not the first round we see them get aggressive in towards apartments, right? They did it in the round that Mopaz almost clutched it out when he pushed through and got an early kill on a Sticko. They do it again and punish the player there. So it seems like they're very keen on the way that, you know, GODSENT want to play out this T side, which has, I think, been able to help get them back into this match. It was 7-3, if I'm not mistaken. Now we're looking at 7-5 and potentially another round, considering GODSENT, well, they don't really have any money to spend. But then again, we could see the rush come through, and we're seeing Mopaz go for the MP9. I'm actually liking to see this. The SMG coming out this round, though. Probably not his choice to go for this weapon, probably due to the money he had available. But it could work out well. I'm assuming this is a technical timeout.
Yeah, people talking about FPS bugs, stuff like that.
Funny enough, when we just had the free cam happen from the observer, it was a little bit laggy on my side too.
Yeah, I had that too. Yeah. It seems like it is fixed for most people now, so we are going to be getting back in, or for everyone, I should say, we are going back into the round. And yeah, not really much being invested whatsoever. Zen can afford to go for a Deagle and armor. Sticko actually interestingly picking one up as well. Now, he needs to get a kill, otherwise he can't even afford an AK in the next round. Well, with armor, which you don't really buy an AK without armor. It's not really something that you see too often in Counter-Strike nowadays. Mopaz, though, you wanted to see this MP9, and I imagine this is something along the lines of what you wanted to see as well. Aggressive banana take, removing a lot of the map control, flashbang even in for Steel, just to have a peek into mid, but wide peek might be a bit too much of a risk, especially with 3 Deagles on the other side, a random shot, a tasty Juan, and who knows, this round could easily slip away.
Oh, Zen looking directly where Lau's going to be. Lau doesn't really have any support. Easter might rotate around to help him. We also have the rotate coming from Alex. With Easter just taking the shot, it actually obviously keeps the T's focused on a different direction. He will fall to Zen eventually. But again, not able to rescue the weapon. They'll just take the kill now. Look to push into short where Sticko has already gained some ground, but Steel's there waiting. As well as Easter with the... Oh my... What? I thought Easter would have had a shot there, but he was not able to. And Sticko kills the teammate of Michaelelli. And Steel's able to pull off the last 2 kills in the round and get them their 6th.
Well, a bit of a hectic round, and when I said that Sticko needed to get a kill to be able to afford an AK, that is not quite.
You didn't say what team, all right?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Sticko. I should have specified. I felt like everything's gone wrong because of me, but you know, I'm sure Makalele is probably not too happy about that one. But we move on. It will just be a Galil for Sticko in this round. It's not the biggest issue. He'll have some extra utility, and the CT side is still going to have an SMG. Madden, he hasn't had the most success challenging for Banana. It's actually going to be him helping out Crystal to get the kill with the Molotov. I think Mopos must have been screwed there anyway, because he was just standing in the flames. A gap in the smoke, though, is actually going to help out Steel quite significantly. He's up to 13 frags, currently leading the scoreboard for his side. And this is all going to come down to timing. He's peeked through, but doesn't realize that Madden has already crossed as well. I'll leave things into a 3 versus 3. Spray down. There's a little bit of damage. Might be able to catch Madden as he rotates around. And in fact, Easter will get the kill and the second to Makalele. And now it's left all onto Sticko. That trusty Galil will switch it up for an AWP. And Alex already looking to try and round the corner. Has to be a bit careful here. This is a fight not really worth taking. Sticko just trying to be patient, but he actually has the chance to sprint his way back towards the B site and potentially take this fight. But instead, he's going to be handed a free kill. A peek from Lau. Again, it's risky. They wanted the information, and instead, he now just has to worry about Alex. Don't know if Alex is going to fall for this, though. He's trying to bait him in. But I think he's spotted the rotation. This should be fairly easy for him at this point. It just depended on where Sticko actually goes. And the piece of information may have actually made him brain himself. What is going on? Both players are about to walk into each other. I think Alex... Oh my goodness. I don't know how Sticko wins that round. I genuinely don't understand.
Ring around the rosy was basically what was happening there. And oh my god, how does he turn around like that and get the kill? How do they not lock that one out? And that's going to hurt for Movistar. That should have been the round they had. And even you saw Sticko was confused because he saw Alex towards long, right? Then he peeks in towards sight, kills a player there. And then he thought that was the man who rotated from long back in towards sight. So he's like, okay, maybe I'll just wrap around to B to fake him out. Oh, man. GODSENT, a little bit of luck there. A little bit of skill. They do get themselves the first half lead. As it's at 8-6 currently. And, well, now GODSENT looking for a 9th.
Well, it's something we've seen many a time, of course. There's Madden fighting for banana control. He'll get it this time. But it doesn't seem to be a big part of the GODSENT plan, as they do wait patiently to try and take the safe side. I feel like this round comes down to Sticko. If he's quick enough peeking out of apartments, they can have a free sight of A. There's absolutely no one in the pit. Steel trying his best to hold on. It's only going to be a 1-for-1 trade with already a man advantage in the favor of GODSENT. After plant position, this is a bleak scenario. No utility, no kit.
And really no chance of getting back into the site easily. That smoke's going to buy a lot of time. Movistar can at least give some overwatch here with AWP when they do push in. But the kit, that's the biggest problem, right? Time is taken away, already halfway through the bomb. Zen's going to be here ready to just spray them down. They do push in. And Mopos gets the first, but Zen, he's alive. He's stone cold, and he gets them the ground. 9-6 in favor of GODSENT, as it will end things off here in the first half. We do have to head to a short break. And when we come back, we'll be bringing you the second half, so don't go anywhere.
Turn my heart into something gold. Knew I sold my soul to the devil long ago. I rode it all along on your way right before it broke. Time was thrown down the well, so I let you go. in flight. I'm laughing to myself, cause I know that I can't deny. I can't find what you can't hide right inside my mind. What I do, what I do, what I do right now. What I do, what I do, what I do right now. For you, for you.
Well, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, to continue to bring you this insane match we've already had so far. Movistar Riders up against GODSENT, and I'm sure you're going to see a couple of clips over on Reddit a little bit later on today. I'm still Jason Kappen, still joined by Tombiz, as we'll be bringing you the entire series we have today here between these two teams, and even another one coming up later with Team Liquid up against Cloud9. Now, 9-6, not too bad, but GODSENT, I feel like they actually could have had more rounds if a couple of rounds went a little bit of a different way, if they were maybe a little bit cleaner in some aspects, or maybe they didn't, you know, get caught off in some rounds. I guess you could say the same for Movistar.
Yeah, I think there's been a few like cagey rounds that you could definitely argue could have gone either way, but ultimately I think GODSENT are going to be fairly happy with that. They go in with a 9-6 half lead. They go on to the strongest side of the map. If they can win the pistol, well, I think they'll be very disappointed if they don't put this one to bed, but hey, crazier things have happened. Movistar Riders definitely roll as a unit and can be quite tough to break down. But with 4 players currently in this A site, it's going to be a tough take. Even still, the early kill goes their way, but the bomb's been dropped. This is now an issue. 2 players within the pit trying to fight out. Madden is going to fall, but Zen's still just holding the line. Already 2 kills to his name. He's been the main man to watch, but the trades come back thick and fast. And now it's left all onto Crystal, a monster who's taken the silencer off his USP. It does make a very pretty sound. Unfortunately, it does ruin his cover a little bit.
Kind of unfortunate chain of events there, too. His Steel charges straight into the site where Zen gets the kill, and he actually drops a smoke, which if Zen was able to get down in time, maybe towards pit, it could have alleviated so much pressure, and he could have really focused on that short position, or maybe forced Movistar to push in through the smoke to, you know, obviously clear out the site. It was a good investment of players out of GODSENT, but unfortunately they just couldn't hit the shots, and Movistar now going to be on the buy-up, and I'd honestly say a good recovery, considering they ran into the stack, and things got a little bit hectic, a little bit crazy in there. Even Stick on the scout, looking for some shots in towards middle. Him and Madden both taking some chip damage, as well as Crystal with the utility out of Movistar. But again, 3 players towards the B site. No pause. He's already had, I'd say, a pretty good first half. 10 kills. He's had some very impactful kills. But they're going to need a lot more out of him.
Ooh, I like this. They're a bit cheeky. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. They've realized his position, and considering he's the only man actually defending this A site, could be a bit of an awkward position. I'm quite surprised they haven't tried to maybe rotate Zen in just to have that extra smoke on B. But again, a very slow, methodical round from Movistar Riders. 2 teams that like to make sure that they clear all these angles. Oh, not taking too many risks. Steel is going to try and sneak his way through. He stored, I don't know, maybe blinked for a little bit too long, but it seems like he's given an opportunity. Sticko's also going to win the duel with a USP, and now they're going to try and push back towards the B site. And I already mentioned that Crystal is very, very low, so they're going to need some sort of hero. Maybe that can be Sticko sneaking through the edge of the smoke. I thought he was going to try the no-scope, but unfortunately a bit too late to the party. And now it's up to him and Makalele. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for this, because you've got a player or two that they know is tagged, even hitting a second one. This is getting dicey for Movistar.
I think they're going to know there's one player towards pit. Or sorry, not pit, towards banana, because they saw the smoke come in. But that smoke's bought them so much time now. And maybe if Sticko hits a shot, they'll go for it. We already see Makalele backing away, Sticko as well. Maybe looking for the exit frags if they do try to run away off the site. There's two of those players are going to have to run extremely quick if they don't want to die to the bomb. Oh, and Sticko. There you go. Gets one. Gets a headshot on a Mopaz. So at least makes it, you know, expensive for Movistar, but Movistar will still take the round nonetheless. And yeah, that point about Eastor. There was an op round as well he had inside the A site looking towards short that he just didn't shoot. Maybe he was looking towards the map at that moment. Maybe that's what happened in that round as well, because he saw him come around the corner with the deagle. And I think they're going to need him to, you know, play pretty solid considering they're up against Makalele, which is someone you definitely can't underestimate. I think it's a pretty damn good lineup that GODSENT's brought to the table here. But Movistar one round away from tying things up, more importantly.
Pistol victory has helped them out, but we'll see what can be done with the weapons they have in this round. I would have quite liked to see the UMP switch into Madden's hand with the Kevlar and then the Makalele taking the D. It might make a little bit more sense, but who knows? If he can steal a kill away, I guess it would be money in the bank for the AWP. And Sticko bringing one player low could make things interesting. Makalele also such a close angle. That flashbang couldn't be better. Could not be better. An easy kill, an extra $600 for the AWP as well. Not that he really needed it. He already had the cash available for the AWP. But the more damage they can do, the more awkward they can make this next round, as they're going to be coming in with a fully fledged buy. Whereas the T's, well, depending on how many players they lose, they might have a fair few pieces missing.
Oh, Makalele on site. There's a big opportunity here to get some kills. A little bit wild on the spray around the corner. He only get one, but at least he gets one instead of none. But still, it looks like Movistar's going to take this round. Crystal, the last alive against 3. The P250 in hand, looks to push in. I'd imagine he's going to die the second he pops out of the smoke. And yeah, Easter will have the angle. And there we go, all tied up at 9 apiece. Clean first 3 rounds out of Movistar. And now we get into the buy-up rounds. We get into the juicy parts of this match here between these two teams.
I do wonder what the plan for GODSENT will be in this initial round. Now, Makalele has a pretty decent spawn to try and take the face into mid. I wouldn't be against it. Especially as that AWP has clearly been saved for quite a while. In fact, it seems like they're going to running boost him across very quick, and Easter's gone! Just like that, he's out of the round. He lasted, I think, just over 10 seconds before Makalele removed him. That's a cheeky setup, and he's already found a second in apartments as well. He's going to be all over the place in this round. GODSENT have started this off fantastically. Madden has to be careful, though. I don't know how he gets out of this alive. He does so much damage onto Alex, and he has left Crystal in support of Banana, so it's a risk that he was able to take. However, the T's, so much time left on the clock. The Warriors, normally they come into this scenario with a lot of cash built up, but because of the last couple of rounds being relatively close, there is less of an opportunity for them to buy in the next round.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're still a minute left in the round, but we're almost at the point where maybe they're going to try to save this, because you still have Steel on 6k, Alex on 4, so they could drop. Doesn't look like they're done just yet. By the way, I did like Crystal's little flashbang he threw in to try to save Madden. It's a little bit too late, but I like the attempt, and well, now Steel trying to round the corner. Sorry, Alex trying to round the corner. He's going to fall. Now Steel's
close,
alone.
though.
Yeah.
He legged Zen. Yeah, for Steel, obviously losing this round would only give him $1,400 anyway. Whereas saving an AK, 2,700 plus the 1,000 for the armor, plus the 2 grenades that he has as well, it would have been worth keeping that.
I was gonna
But
say.
unfortunately, he's gonna go down. So I've
I think he
done the
tried to
math
rescue
for
the
him.
op, at least. I think that's what he was trying to go for. Maybe get it back on the E-Store, which, I mean, they're going to buy up anyways. Steel spending 7,800 in this round. Massive investment, but obviously trying to tie things back up in 10. And if they do win this round, we'll still have GODSENT be on a save as well, potentially. Or at least the force up. I think we're seeing some confidence out of GODSENT, too. I mean, the boost across from Makalele. Gets himself 2 kills. Madden, again, getting aggressive towards the bottom of Banana. We haven't seen... Honestly, in the matches we've been casting, teams do this in such a long time. But he will back away. More important to stay alive for now.
Crystal just going to play that classic spotting role. Just basically cry for help if anybody comes around that corner. Try and delay them as long as possible. He does have a Molotov that he's managed to retrieve as well from one of the T's. So he's not in a bad position. Madden now going to be hiding in the smoke. This is such a risky position to be playing. And it does seem like this man has no fear, but I almost wonder if it needs to be instilled in him. Because he does get caught quite often. The Molotov to delay them is going to be smoked out. But Zen from above once again steps up when they need him. The nade won't do anything but at least slow them down. There is going to be a trade back onto Makalele. And Lau, he may have expected a drop to come in. I like this position, though, from Crystal. So fast on the flank. A free kill and a bomb drop. And Lau, I don't know if they know exactly where he is, but they can probably guess. Sticko is there to close it out in the end. A good hold on the A side, that's for sure, and a quick rotation as well. And an 11th now onto the board for the CT side. And unfortunately, there's no more bailout money.
Actually, one thing I did enjoy seeing, even though Madden was basically a madman there, the utility damage done by GODSENT as Movistar tried to push in off of that kill. I think they took like about 150 just from the nades alone, and then the Incendiary came down to buy some more time. And then Zen obviously playing on top of apartments on balcony. Was able to get spray them down relatively well. Another round, and it's another time that Madden's going to push up the bomb. And again, the nade comes through. Crystal sprays them down. Madden will unfortunately fall, but Crystal should be fine with the Molotov to buy him some extra time to get the relocation on the shots. And oh, there you go. Crystal gets the ace. GODSENT now up to 12.
Yeah, some stat padding. It's actually going to move him right up to second on the board for his side. Of course, Zen's still leading. In fact, if you look at the points, I think he's been getting a lot of bomb plants and diffusers as well. It's 1 kill, 1 less assist is 20 points difference. Don't normally talk about score, but that's kind of crazy.
8 MVPs for Zen. Damn.
He really is the star. Oh, here we go, Makalele. Oh, that looked like it was inches away. I do wonder if he maybe moved just as the shot was taken, and obviously not knowing where the player was, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. And actually, Zen is going to go down here. Madden tries to repeat the same angle, and while Lau will treat him in exactly the same way with a headshot, it leaves Sticko with the support of Makalele to try and hold this. He sprays down 2 straight away and is even able to fade out. Steel is going to get caught by Sticko as well. He's gone nuclear in this round, saving them from certain defeat. However, there's still Lau looking to challenge him. Both players with 3 kills apiece. Seems like they will have heard the rotation at least, but the problem will be, can Mopos catch them again? We've spoken about this already. It seems like he's always in the right place at the right time. Makalele has not seen him as well, so that'll be a free kill. Sticko needs an ace to win this round. And I don't think he's going to be going for this. 7 HP, surely not.
He went nuclear, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to win the round. At least enough to still keep Movistar and their economy in check. But it's still going to get them their 10th round, so they will reach double digits. Money, I mean, it's still there for GODSENT. Not a big deal to lose this round. Obviously, a little bit of momentum loss is a shame. But Sticko has to be psyched up after that. Yeah, Chris will get an ace before. He gets himself a 3K this round. And it seems like if it's not Zen stepping up at the ace side, it's Sticko. And that's actually really cool to see that they have like these two players who can just really shut down pushes whenever they're able to be given the opportunity. And look at the money from Movistar. It doesn't even look like they just won the round 2. I mean, Alex is on 3,600. I think Easter drops over Galil to Alex. So they're just trying to scrap together a formidable buy.
Oh, still got an opportunity. It's going to be a very fast challenge for Banana. Straight in steal. Looked like he was still flying through the air. As Zen gets killed off. Now, he is normally one of the A-site defenders. They've left it a little bit weak. The flashbang is solid, though. It gives Crystal a peek. Even going to find both players back. And it seems like every advantage that Movistar Riders gets, there's a response.
Stucco again. Gets aggressive. Gets some early information. And you can see, I think the information he's gotten from this has allowed the other two players for GODSENT, with Crystal, with Michael to just play in towards CT spawn, play very passive at the A site. Alex almost catching Stucco off guard, but he's going to hear the gun being dropped, and that might be go time to rotate in towards the B site. If Mopaz gets this kill quickly on the Madden, they actually could get the bomb down and have the chance where they have to plant situation. They got the 2 smokes. They got 2 mollies, 2 flashbangs. But Madden's just going to hold steady. He's not going to go for the peak here, and I would imagine Stucco in a few seconds is going to start to push behind. And now this gets dangerous for Movistar. They got to pick up the pace here if they want to take this site.
I think because they've tried to do things quietly, it took them a little bit longer, but they still get the kill. Stucco should have one for free, and they know where the last man is. Has to be on the site. And it pays off in the end. A 13th for GODSENT. A bomb plant will help out at least for the T side. They were already getting 1,900 plus the further 800. This should leave them with at least remnants of a buy. 4 players just over that $4,000. Well, I suppose WoW on 3,950. So they could risk it if they wanted to. The money for the CT side, however, has started to build up. But straight in, Steel already is going to buy up an AK-47.
Well, they will call a timeout. I was just thinking to myself, I wonder if just the 5 AKs is the play to go for them. I'm trying to think if like quicker play could potentially net them a round victory they desperately need. Because Easter hasn't really been that impactful, I feel like, with the op on the T side. He hasn't had really any chances to get some shots off and create some openings for his team. Or vice versa. His team hasn't really been able to create openings for him to lock down some shots. I mean, he's on 12 kills. He's not bottom fragging in any right. But let's see what they do decide to go for. And of course, the other side, yeah, they got everything they possibly need. Crystal's going to be the only one low on funds as he's currently out. But GODSENT, 3 rounds away from closing out Movistar Riders map pick. We have Vertigo to come up second. That is going to be interesting, because that'll be my first time casting the changed B side on Vertigo, and even the changed middle.
Oh, here we go again. A quick game of whack-a-mole, which this time the mole has survived. The T's have risked it, of course. They've got a reasonable amount of utility, but I always sit a little bit uncomfortable seeing only 1 Molotov for the T side. There's so many positions on this map that you want to be clearing out with flames. Even if you talk about just the A site alone, pit is a must. That closed corner when you wrap around arch, normally a must as well. And then in after plant positions or anything of the sort, you want to try and have utility to delay. However, well, they're going to have to choose the positioning wisely. 4 players once again will sit over on this A side. It's a much more passive hold this time, though, from Crystal. And that gives more opportunity for the T side. If they do pressure Banana and take that control, then there can be issues. And that's actually why we're going to see a rotation a little bit earlier than normal head its way back in the form of Madden. Now with just 3 players remaining here, they're going to put the pressure on a Makalele. He's just been killed off straight through the smoke. Zen is actually going to try and fall into position just behind as well. Gotta be careful when this fades. It normally favors the player standing within it, but if you try and walk straight through, that makes things just that little bit easier. And once again, a two-man advantage has quickly been turned back into an even scenario. Bomb gonna be planted. Zen can't really do too much about it, but he even predicts Alex's position. Retrieves a fully reloaded AK, and now they look to try and pull things back in the 3v2.
Again, Crystal and Zen stepping up when they need it. Easter just the Deagle, Lowell with the AK. Come down to this man in pit to hit these shots, and it looks like it's going to come down in the next few seconds. Smoke goes in. Zen's just already trailed directly on his angle, and he spots him through his teammate, but doesn't want to go for the shot, which allows Lowell to get the double and the triple and save the round. Lowell get the quad kill. Gets Movistar back on the board and gets them their 11th round.
Yeah, that looks a little bit like some miscommunication there. As you mentioned, it was a perfect position. I think Zen actually would have almost definitely got that kill. I didn't want to take the shot. I think you're normally encouraged to do it, but I don't even know if that would have been able to kill him through the body of his teammates, so they just tried to wait. Instead, now it's a bit of an awkward buy for the CT side. So if anything, that round alone might have put Movistar Riders back into the game. The issue is they are still financially troubled themselves. See if Makalele's aggression can work out. He initially peeked in towards Banana with a bit of a boost, but instead they're going to try and set him up at the back of the site. Crystal does have some extra utility to try and support, and in fact, it looks like they're going to go for this same setup once again. A player boosted up. We saw this from Movistar. One player close and all trying to play around short side. However, it is looking like Crystal is about to come under a huge amount of pressure, and I don't know if one smoke will be enough to hold them back.
At least he's got the smoke. Last time he didn't have any utility. That's why we saw Michael rotate back and forth between the B site. Flashbang's coming through the CZ. He connects with some decent damage. I guess more importantly, he does stay... Well, never mind. Alex just pushes through the smoke and gets the kill. And, well, Movistar 4-on-5 retake with an op and an M4 and just 2 deagles. Probably going to see the save come through, and Movistar's going to take themselves now to a 12th round. All off the bat of just 1 kill. But yeah, I mean, the thing is, we've seen GODSENT, like, almost so consistently when they have guns, is get aggressive towards Banana, get Madden pushed up, like invest Molotovs, smokes, flashes to take that position away. And I think the second Movistar don't see it happen, they're like, all right, well, that means they're really weak on B. Let's just push it. I'd almost want to see GODSENT just throw a fake with that, where they don't throw stuff, so they bait Movistar in, but they actually do have players ready to go. And I think this is what we saw to Steel in one of the tournaments we were just casting, where he seems to get a decent read on the way the CTs do play and is able to punish them for it.
Wow. Probably just going to keep what they've got. No real worth investing anything more into this. It would only make things more awkward in the future rounds for GODSENT. This is an even bigger chance for Movistar to actually build up some extra cash. Makalele, once again, is going to be the solo defender of this B site. The rest of the team just stacking onto A. Now, they've heard the AWP shoot off a shot. It might actually be worth trying to pressure him down. It's just whether or not the T's actually suspect been any players elsewhere. Well, they're trying to get aggressive. Crystal has 100% been spotted. It's just whether or not Sticko has, because he's the main threat. Instead, though, they are going to just pressure Makalele, as mentioned, and there's nothing he can do here. The AWP hits the deck. That's a weapon for Alex for free, and all the remaining players just trying to rotate in here and not going to be able to do anything.
Again, just a straight push up in towards B. Counter them off guard, and again, the utility's not really there for GODSENT to defend this. I mean, Sticko, maybe, I was going to say maybe he can get a kill, except I see Steel's already looking around behind them. So more importantly, stay alive, don't get the kills, keep the M4. And it looks like Zen will be allowed to keep the Deagle as well in towards CT spawn. So Movistar obviously on a big climb back. They've taken 4 of the last 5 rounds. It's a little bit of a rough CT side for them. And even Zen, he's looking for the op. And unfortunately not able to find it.
Well, it is going to be a tactical pause taken. As I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, it's a map that GODSENT have played quite regularly, but not one that they've been able to win. So maybe this is part of it. It does seem to be slipping away. They had a strong T-side 9 rounds put in, but they have been struggling over the last few. Sure, economy has definitely played a big part, but a lot of that came down to their victories being with only a few players alive, and they seem fairly reliant on a couple of players to really go big. Like we saw an ace from Crystal, one of the eco rounds. We've seen triple spray downs from Sticko, Zen as well being quite clutch, and then losing that 3 versus 2 situation, which they brought back. But this is actually going to be a technical one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
There's 2 reasons. Sticko's crashed, and a man who shall not be named has also used this time to take a toilet break.
Tom, was it you?
It'd be weird. I don't actually have a wireless microphone, so that would be a really odd thing to do.
Just hear you the next round. It looks like they're going to push into the B site. But yeah, obviously just sorting some things out. Tom went quiet. Probably for good reason. On the other side, though, we have the ump. What, the 3 M4s? No op this time. Going to be picked up for GODSENT to use. Crystal, he's got the money to buy. I think we now know who the player that went to the bathroom is, considering the only person who has yet to buy in the server.
You're wrong.
I'm wrong, really?
Yeah.
Am I?
Yeah. I'm not going to throw him
no,
under the
sorry,
bus.
there's 2 players, so it's either Crystal or Sticko.
It's actually neither.
What?
You're whittling it down, but the player has already come back. They were very quick.
It's probably GODSENT side then. Because you said I'm getting close.
No, I said you're whittling it down. You've gone from 10 players to 8.
Yeah.
Also, if I divulge that piece of information, then it goes even lower. So I am not going to sell that player out. But yeah, there was another technical reason anyway. So I think it was the prime time to go for a toilet break. But 13-13, moving away from those topics. And wow, this buy is not a particularly good one for GODSENT. They've got all the utility. In fact, if you just hide the guns on the screen, this is actually exactly what they'd like to see. A kit still in play, but they're going to have to be fairly aggressive with their style. Because you've got Mad and Makalele and Crystal all playing with SMGs. Not something you really want to see going into round number 27. This is a real opportunity for Movistar Riders. Of course, the next map is going to be Vertigo, one that I think the record for Movistar is even worse. I don't think they've won it in the last 6 times or something like that they've played it. 0% in the last 3 months. Not a map that they particularly want to be playing, and a lot of teams have sort of shied away from the new iteration, at least for a bit. I think NIP are one of the main squads sticking with that map. That is risky from Mopos, though. That trade is absolutely fine for the CT side. Obviously, having weakened players, the sort of more they whittle away at the T side, the more even it becomes. It is going to be full banana control. Easter actually playing solo with the AWP as the rest of the team looks to put pressure elsewhere. You can see Sticko with an aggressive peek. He does win it out, and actually, the AWP is going to lose to an MP9. Zen still firmly in position, and a free B kill for him. And now it leaves Steel trying to do as much damage as humanly possible, but he doesn't quite have the time to win the round.
Yeah, I'm really not sure why Easter went towards the B side alone with the op. I mean, trying to sell the fake, but Sicko wasn't having it. He gets a big kill. Zen as well. And Steel will save the Galil. Not going to be ideal in any sense of the word. But again, they still have a ton of money to spend. I think Steel's just actually going to keep the Galil at the moment, even though he has the money to buy up the AKH, since they might need the money into the next round. GODSENT now 2 away from closing out this first map. And they're going to take a little bit of a timeout to talk some things over.
Yeah, understandable. They've managed to steal around away with... I feel like some of it was over-aggression coming out from the T's. I guess we were getting into the later portions of the round, but trying to push through a Molotov, it just didn't seem like it was worth the risk. The player was already stuck in the corner anyway, so... Mopos maybe a little bit too aggressive there, and Easter trying to sell the fake with an AWP was almost asking for trouble, but it's something we see Nifty actually do quite regularly and quite successfully, but even still. 14-13. Devil Walker's been given a chance to talk things over with the squad, or I guess Blade has had the same opportunity. The T's have come in with a very good buy as well. They had plenty of cash after the last few rounds. They managed to keep them relatively clean, but again, it's Makalele with the AWPs, handed a second chance. Sticko pushing aggressively, and actually hands that kill back.
Seemed like Makalele normally would get more than that. Fortunately, Sticko's going to fall, so it's just a 1-for-1 trade, but Alex will be on low HP. 16 health for him. Let's split up the GODSENT defense, and actually they're banking things on the B site. They're going to force Makalele to rotate in. Zen's going to defend A all by himself in towards pit. No smoke to dissipate any sort of Molotov thrown in his direction, and maybe actually I'm going to see GODSENT get aggressive towards Banana. Looks like they're going to boost Makalele up to look for the shot over the wall. Actually, I kind of like this too, because he has incendiaries, so he can go for the shot, back away, or miss the shot, not back away, and luckily Crystal will still be there with at least a flashbang to stall them if they do head towards B.
And not quite fast enough. Alex, not even normally the man AWPing for this squad, but he's picked it up, being on low HP. Oh my goodness, that was so close. We almost lost Madden. I think he was probably as surprised as us. That was almost a jump scare moment. Now it is left all onto Crystal. He needs, at minimum, a kill. He should have got it. It looked like that was at least going in his favor. The remaining CT players probably just going to have to make the decision to save their guns. They've got the ability to at least drop 2, and then a third player should be able to buy. So, yeah, it's going to have to be the save. Even Stevens. And we're going the full 30 again, Jason. The question is, can we beat 52 rounds?
I hope not, because we already started today a little bit late. I don't think you're going to be happy going to bed at 4 a.m. again.
Kind of become the norm, I'll be honest.
Well, they will win the round. Zen, though, on the bottom of Banana, actually looking for a shot, maybe. I should say bottom of mid. He's not going to go for it, I guess. So just 2 guns being saved over. Money a little bit light on the CT side. Man's actually going to drop the op over to Makalele. And he's actually going to force up armor and utility, so it doesn't even drop Madden back. Doesn't go for the glass cannon. I think they dropped for him, though. Yeah, there we go. M4 picked up. And yeah, well, it comes down to this. Will we see overtime? These next 2 rounds will tell us if we'll move on to Vertigo with a team having a lead, or if we're going to be going to extra rounds. We already had it happen with the Prosto up against Simon Gaming match right before this one. Definitely had it happen last night. I think I had more overtimes in that one match alone than I've had in the last year of casting Counter-Strike. And he's still again. He's got the op. 13 kills. He's had 1 kill since I mentioned the last time, which is so unfortunate. He's really been struggling on this T side, and we've already seen Makalele be able to shut him down before.
Well, we're going to begin with this take of middle once again. It's something that Movistar have been relatively successful with. I'm sure they're going to be checking that left-hand corner this time. Also, with Makalele being forced off mid and not really much utility left. Luckily, there's not a huge amount of time on the clock. He has an incendiary, so if anything, the B site should be a safe haven, but is Mopos really going to do it? He is the man that takes all the risks for this side. Straight into the flames he goes, but he makes it out the other side of the smoke. Zen was prepared, but he still gets the kill. And now Crystal, 20 seconds left. He just has to try and delay them as long as humanly possible, but he can't do anything. Mopos has just ripped him a new one. It's a 15th round. There's nothing the remaining players of GODSENT can do other than just scurry away and try and hold on to their weapons. And Madden, not really in a place to do so. I wonder what the plan is.
Well, that's the op dropped. I would imagine they're still going to pick it up, though, as he looks to escape. That timing, by the way, out of Mopos, wrapping around construction and going through the smoke, because the players who came in from Banana into sight, they all peek him at the exact same time, and there's just no way he's going to get a single kill off of that. Or if anything, get more than a single kill off of it. So well done. I mean, they even flashed in Mopos and smoked him off so he could, you know, run straight in towards CT spawn. And, well, now, Movistar Riders, 1 round away from taking the first map. 4 players left alive. Look on the side of GODSENT, and the money, it's just not there, Tom. I would imagine GODSENT have to do something ridiculous in this round. Maybe push somewhere very aggressively to throw it into an overtime.
Yeah, they've been fairly successful. I would say Sticko's aggression has been probably the most prominent. I guess Makalele's peaks into mid, but he, as you mentioned, doesn't have that AWP. Madden, though, has struggled. Like, this definitely hasn't been his game. A lot of his aggressive plays has actually just resulted in GODSENT being a man down. It is sort of the curse of being that player that is just a loose cannon for the squad, and well, obviously being the entry fragger on the T side, sometimes your statistics are not always the best, but I feel like some of the decision-making has been a little bit off. The risks that have been taken have not been worth it, especially in advantageous positions, and now, well, it all comes down to this. If they're going to survive in this first map, they were in an advantageous position. Once again, we're going to see the challenge for Banana. Some nades being thrown out early, but no real aggression taken of it. It's a lot of utility used for seemingly a small amount of gain, I guess, and reduces the chance of a counter push coming in on the other side of the map. But this deep banana control that they attempted previously did work out quite well. If you remember, that was around where Mopos actually gets caught, peeking up the top.
It just seems like Movistar have adapted to the aggression that Madden's used to doing. There obviously was a lull in rounds where they weren't able to use the utility to get down towards the bomb Banana and allow him to be that aggressive monster he's shown us. But again, I think that's just Steel's adaptations to the way they're playing the T side. There's a big stack towards the A site. 4 players there. They're going to be leaving Zen all alone towards B with the smoke and the incendiary to delay. Nice little flashbang peek in, but unfortunately he still gets around the corner in time, and Makalele will get nothing off of that. The utility, it's running extremely thin. Just a nade left at the A site. Still just gonna peek around the corner directly to Makalele. The first kill comes through. Crystal re-peeks and low. In the meantime, gets the trade over towards short. 4 on 3, and Mopos is actually pushing the B site with the bomb.
Been clinical over the last few rounds. They've decided this time to leave Zen as that solo defender. He's been playing well. Now, there's not a whole lot of time left on this clock. Already going to be throwing down the incendiary, getting down to what could be the last 10 seconds. His teammates trying their best to come up from behind. He just needs to try and drop the bomb, but it's not going to happen. The question is, do they still have enough time? I think they've just about got it. It's going to be a matter of seconds. And now Sticko, as they all tried to deny it, is going to be left in a clutch, and he can't do anything, Jason. It's a 16-14 for Movistar.